Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Coach Daredevil, bringing you another episode in our NCAA 2013 coaching career. We are heading into another game as the offensive coordinator of the Florida Atlantic Owls. We are 6-2 on the season, 4-0 in our conference. The only two losses we've had this season were to Alabama and Georgia, which, was to be expected. But today we have a game against Navy, who is 4-4. They are an independent team, so they don't have a conference. Rating-wise, better than us. Total offense-wise, better than us. We have a better pass offense, but they have the third best rush offense in the nation, which is ironic. Not ironic, but it's interesting because they have the third best rush offense in the nation. We have the number one rush defense in the nation. So it is going to be an interesting battle on the ground when it comes to that. As you see there as well, we are number one in the nation on turnover differential. We are doing the dang thing when it comes to being able to keep the ball, keep from having too many turnovers and all that stuff. So 4-4 Navy coming in and taking on the 6-2 Florida Atlantic Owls. Sorry, the other way around. We're actually going to Navy to play this game. So we're going to have to see how it goes. That's not the way I wanted. There we go. We're going to have to see how it goes because I got to imagine it's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, they're 4-4, but they are highly rated, so may have a bit of a, maybe one of those down to the last couple of minutes of the game kind of scenarios with this one. The Navy midshipmen. Of course, last game with a victory, Florida Atlantic did become bowl eligible. They are able to qualify for a bowl, but right now they're not focused on what bowl they're going to go to. They're focused on trying to get to that conference championship. Obviously, this is a non-conference game, so it won't affect the conference standings, but obviously getting a victory would be a good thing there. Jesse Cox, the quarterback, 1,500 yards on the season so far. Only 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, so not a great ratio. Not the best passer in the world, but that's because Florida Atlantic has gotten it done just about as well on the ground with that dual combination of Brett Daniel and Aaron Duncan as they have through the air. It is going to be game time. It is going to be football time. And we're going to be doing the dang thing. NCAA Football 13. We're going to have to see, as here comes the Navy midshipman parachuting in. Here comes a couple of them. We're going to have to see as the game is brought to you by Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste and 0 calories, apparently. Non-sponsored ad. All right. We lost the coin toss, so Navy's going to get to choose. They're choosing to kick, so they can get the ball in the second half. So we're going to be starting off with the ball here in the first half. And we're going to have to see what the Owls can do on offense as they start from the 20-yard line. Jesse Cox going up under center. 3 receivers, 1 guy in the backfield. Back to pass on first down. Connects over, just to the left there for an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Already with the studio update, we see that number 8 Nebraska, after losing last week, was able to come back and beat Michigan State 35-28 here. So they go to 8-1. They only stumbled a couple spots because they were like 3rd, I think, when they got upset. Also, we see TCU beat West Virginia and Wisconsin beat Iowa. So Iowa was undefeated, and now they've lost 2 straight. They lost last week, and then they lost this week. So Iowa not looking so good the last couple weeks. And there you go. That's a little bit of a studio update around the league. Around the nation, I guess. 2nd and 2 here from the 28-yard line. In an I formation. Cox turns around, hands off to Brett Daniel, who's got his first run of the game, and he takes it up the middle. Nice hole there and a big run. Brett Daniel over 1,000 yards for the season. and 7 touchdowns. So pretty good stats for him as he is continuing to do the dang thing here for the Owls, which has helped lead to that 6-2 record for sure. Got a 1st and 10 here. Man in motion. Handoff on the jet sweep. He's going to get around the right side. He does get a few yards, but then he fumbles the ball. Navy picks it up, and they're gone. That is going to be a fumble recovery touchdown for Navy. So very bad way to start off the drive, or to start off the game for the Owls, as that fumble recovery goes to the end zone for a Navy touchdown, which is not a good thing at all, because that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt the Owls there. So there you go. Already a 7-0 ball game. As now the Owls are going to have to try to bounce back from that and see if they can get things back under control for them, as that was obviously a terrible way to start off the game here. Cox back to pass here. Slings it out to the left. For some reason, Daniel started going backward before he went forward and lost 2 yards on the play. So the Owls are up against a defense that is definitely kind of taking it to them early on here. Not a good scenario for them. So we got a 2nd and 12 here. Handoff, and that play gets blown up. Not a chance of that one happening, as Brett Daniel gets tackled in the backfield. The Navy defense are all sorts of fired up right now. As you saw Robinson in on that tackle, he was the guy who got the fumble recovery touchdown. So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 16 now. The Owls are definitely struggling here early on. 3rd and 16, Cox back to pass. Heaves it deep to the right side. He had a man, but it got swatted away by a defender there. And the Owls are going to have to punt away. So already, Florida Atlantic struggling in this game against Navy. Maybe it's a good thing it's not a conference game, because they're already down 14-0. So maybe it's a good thing it's not a conference game, because they are looking rough in this game right now. Already down 14-0. Handing the ball off. Daniel's able to sneak past the defenders there and get a 1st down. Nice run there by Brett Daniels. He's able to sneak past those defenders who kind of got confused there for a second. Definitely seems like Robinson on their defense is the guy to watch out for. He seems to be getting involved in all of these plays so far. Nevertheless, Owls are at the 39-yard line after that big run there by Daniel. Going to turn around, fake the handoff, back to pass. Checks it out to the right side there. Nice little 7-yard reception. Brings up a 2nd and short situation here for the Owls. David Hearn, the fullback, on the reception there. So the Owls are definitely going to have to play it smart heading forward, because, I mean, they should have been playing smart the whole game, but they're going to have to be really smart heading forward, because they're already down 14-0 right now. They need to get points on this drive for sure. They need to get a touchdown for sure, but they need to definitely come away with points in this possession. Otherwise, they're going to be in some big trouble for the rest of this game. Jesse Cox under center as they are over the 50-yard line. Cox back to pass. Heaves it out to the left again. Brett Daniel lost a 3 on the play. They should probably stop doing that play, because every single time Cox decides to throw it out to Daniel on the flat, and it does not get past the line of scrimmage. So maybe he should stop throwing that ball there. Just maybe. Nevertheless, 2nd and 13. That does count as a rush, by the way, since it was behind the line. So that kind of sucks for Brett Daniel, but big throw. He throws it out of bounds. Threw it away because he had a defender coming in after him. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long scenario here for the Owls. So we're going to have to see what Coach Daredevil calls up, as this offense has not been looking good so far in this game, outside of a couple of good runs from Brett Daniel. Cox back to pass. Throws it to the right. Completes it, but that's only a 5-yard gain. That's not going to help. So the Owls struggling again on offense here, having to punt it away. This is not a good game so far for Florida Atlantic. The defense was able to get a stop there on that drive. But they still need to get something going. They need to get something going on this drive for sure. They need to get some points on the board because they can't depend on the defense to try to hold Navy to just 14 points the rest of the game. So they're going to have to get some points. 3-yard run to the right there by Brett Daniel. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 from about the 43-44 yard line or so. Jesse Cox back to pass, looking for someone. Heaves it to the left. He has someone open. He did have a man open there. I couldn't tell because I thought he was going to throw it to the guy who was deeper down the field. For some reason, he threw it to the guy who had 3 defenders around him, and somehow he caught that ball. If he had thrown it to the guy just a few steps ahead of him, he probably would have had a touchdown. But hey, I'll still take a first down. So down to the 34-yard line. Jake Meyer, by the way, the tight end with that big reception there. So down to Navy's 34-yard line here. A pitch to the right to Daniel, who's going to take it around, and he's going to get 2 yards out of that pitch there. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8 now from about the 32-yard line. They're going to need to get some points on the board in this drive as they've been getting shut down here in the first quarter so far. There's a flag on the play off of this run here. And that's going to be holding against the offense. Another thing that's been penalizing them all season. They've constantly been getting holding calls. They usually average about 5 or so a game, if not more than that. Nevertheless, 2nd and 13 here from the 37-yard line. Back to handoff there. Aaron Duncan able to get absolutely nothing. He actually loses a yard on that run. As we see that Texas Tech is beating number 9 Texas 14-7 in the second quarter. Back to this game, we've got a 3rd and long scenario. Can the Owls do something here? They have yet to convert a 3rd down so far in this game. Can they get something on this drive here? Cox back to pass, looking for somebody. Dumps it across the middle. Does not get a first down. In fact, he's not getting much of anything. As Walker gets that completion there for about 5 yards. And that is going to bring up a 4th down for Florida Atlantic. End of the first quarter, though. And it has not been a good game through the first quarter of this game for the Owls, as it is a 14-0 ball game. I'm gonna watch this really quick. Wait, what? What the hell is this? Oh, they're punting. I was like, I thought I don't know what I thought there. Why were we punting there? All right, well, whatever. At least he pinned him inside the 5, I guess, but I don't understand why we were punting there. We probably should have tried to go for the field goal, but whatever. Nevertheless, the defense was able to stop him. And so the Owls have the ball once again here. They need to get, I keep saying this over and over again, but they need to get points on the board. It has not been a good game, and that play gets a yard before it gets blown up. The rush game, with the exception of a few plays, has not been doing too well. The passing game has not been doing well. Like, the Owls need to step up and get this turned around. Cox back here in the shotgun on 2nd and 9. Fakes the handoff. Actually does hand off. What the hell did he hand off for? Okay. Well, Maryland's beating Georgia Tech 10-7. Number 3 Georgia Tech losing here in the second quarter. Just so we're clear, that was a play action pass, so I don't know why he actually handed the ball off. No idea why that happened. That was supposed to be a play action pass. Whatever, well, here we are, 3rd and 9, because that run did absolutely nothing. I don't know why Jesse Cox decided to change that there. It's 3rd and 9. Cox back to pass, looking for someone. Throws it across the middle, and Jake Meyer gets the completion, but it's not going to be enough. That's the problem with their 3rd down so far in this game. They keep completing passes across the middle for yardage, but it's not enough for the first downs. So once again, another failed opportunity. They need to figure out a way to get actual first downs beyond just a couple of runs here and there. Otherwise, they're going to for sure lose this ball game, as we've seen already. Cox back to pass here on 1st and 10. Checks it down, but that is dropped by Brett Daniel there. That's going to be a 2nd and 10 now. The Owls are just getting outmatched in this game, which, I mean, we saw the ratings beforehand. We saw it was going to be a troublesome game. But they are just getting outplayed in this ball game so far. Big run there by Brett Daniel, though, on 2nd down. Brings up a 3rd and 1 now. As Daniel is able to go for a 9-yard run. Have not completed a 3rd down in this game so far. But they're going to be looking to try to get one now. Oh, they got the defense to jump off sides, though. So that's a 1st down. Scott Medley, the right end there, jumps forward before the snap, and that is a 1st and 10 for the Owls there. So now 1st and 10 from about the 38-yard line. New set of downs to work with. Going to pitch it to the right there. Daniel's going to fight forward for about 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now, so decent run there. Let's see what they got dialed up on this 2nd and 5 play here. A turnaround handoff again, and this time Daniel's able to get a couple of yards, but not that much. So it's going to be a 3rd and 3 situation. Can the Owls get something here on 3rd and 3? Nearing the 50-yard line. Play action. Heaving it to the right, and that gets swatted away. The passing game has just not been successful at all in this game so far. Navy had a drive there, but apparently could not get something into the end zone. So the Owls take back over here. Minute 13 left before halftime. They need to score here. There's pretty much no doubt about it at this point. They need to score. We're talking, Navy's going to be getting the ball back to start off the second half. Like, they need to score here. 2nd and 7 here. Cox back to pass. Throwing it to the right. He has a man on a big gain there. Big gain as Florida Atlantic calls a timeout up to the 34-yard line there for the Owls on that big catch there. Cox is back in the shotgun. 44 seconds left before halftime. Back to pass. Looking for somebody. Checks it down across the middle, but that gets dropped. Incomplete. 39 seconds left. 2nd and 10 now. Again, he needs somebody. They need points on the board. No runs on this drive here. It's all about passing because they need to get points. They need to get to the end zone. Cox is going to loft it up to the left. Completes the pass down inside the 15-yard line. And that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. 32 seconds left in the game. Florida Atlantic has 1 timeout left. They can get a first down as well. Play action here. Looking. Heaving it to the end zone, and that got swatted away. That should have been picked off, honestly. That was in the defender's hands, but it was dropped by the defender. So 2nd and 10 here from the 13-yard line. Cox back in the shotgun still. Sending a man in motion. Back to pass. Throwing it to the end zone, but he overthrows his receiver. Overthrew him there. It's going to be a 3rd and 10 now. They can get a first down. Back in the shotgun. And he's going to get sacked for a loss. There was no chance on that one. No chance on that one. They jumped the gun. And that was going to be a sack. So this is going to be a field goal to try to get something on the board. The kick is up and through. So at least it's not a complete shutout right now. At least they were able to get points on the board. But it is still 14-3. First drive of the second half goes nowhere for the midshipmen. So it is back to Florida Atlantic here, down by 11 points. Needing to get something going here in the second half. And that is not going to help out too much. That was a gain of 2, though. But that's not going to help out too much, as Brett Daniel gets tackled pretty early on in that one. Navy's defense just coming to play here in this game. They have been taking it to them all game here. Cox back to pass. He has a man open, though, down the left sideline there. A big gain for Stewart as he got past the defense and was able to get that completion. Look at that, just blown past the cornerback. By the time the cornerback and the safety were able to catch up to him, he was already out there getting that catch. But unfortunately, he wasn't as quick as the cornerback because the cornerback caught up with him. But still, a big gain there. Gets him down to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 here, so we'll have to see if the Owls can do something with this drive here. They're going to turn around, hand off to Daniel here, who gets 2 yards on that run. 2nd and 8 here. Can the Owls do something with that big reception they just had there? Turn around, hand off to Brett Daniel, who's going to fight forward for the first down and a little bit more. Down to about the 15-yard line. Brett Daniel has 3.9 yards per carry in this game, but he has been fighting for those yards. He has had to fight for so many of those yards. First and 10 here. Handoff once again to Daniel, who gets held up at the line of scrimmage, gains about a yard. So going to bring up 2nd and 9 here. We're going to have to see what the Owls have planned here. It suddenly just got a little bit darker for some reason. The lights came on. Cox back to pass. Throws it to the left there. Gets a completion of about 3 yards. Not great, but at least it was forward progress. Can't complain about forward progress. 3rd and 6 here. They can get the first down. And they've yet to get a 3rd down conversion in this game so far. So they need something. Oh, they got somebody to jump. They got the defense to jump there. Encroachment. Scott Medley once again. So defensive. So offsides there. Brings up a 3rd and 1. Can Florida Atlantic convert this first down, or convert this 3rd down here? Turn around, handoff to David Hearn, who takes it right up the middle for the first down. 1st and goal inside the 2. big run there by David Hearn to not only pick up the first down that they needed, but to also get it to the goal line there. At the 2-yard line, the Owls now looking to punch it in, get their first touchdown of the game. Cox under center. Fakes the handoff to the fullback. Brett Daniel around the left side there is unable to get in there, though, as the defenders caught up with him. But he got oh so close there, for sure. And now we're going to see second and goal from the 1. Can the Owls punch it in on this drive here? Second and goal from the 1. Cox under center. Sends a man in motion. He's going to turn around, hand off to Brett Daniel, who's going to dive for the end zone and the touchdown. Brett Daniel diving forward for that touchdown there. He probably could have made it in without the dive, but that's all right. We're not going to complain about it because that's a touchdown for Brett Daniel and for the Florida Atlantic Owls. That's going to make that a 10-14 ball game here, as now the Owls find themselves only down by 4 points. And Navy unable to do anything on their drive. They started off the game with the fumble recovery touchdown, and then their first offensive drive got a touchdown. And they've been held ever since then. The problem is that the Owls have not been able to do much of anything on their own. So the defense has been doing everything they can to try to help out the offense, but the problem is that the offense just hasn't been able to get anything going here. 1st and 10, chucking it down to David Hearn, the fullback. Or sorry, that's not David Hearn. That's Jake Meyer, the tight end. So that's gonna be a 9-yard gain there for the Owls. Jake Meyer with that 9-yard reception. So the Owls need to get something. That the defense has been doing everything they can for the offense here in this game. The offense just needs to actually get something going. Turn around, handoff to Brett Daniel, and that goes nowhere. That got blown up in the backfield. 3rd and 3 now. As we see that Georgia Tech is now taking the lead over Maryland in the 4th quarter, 24-17. Georgia Tech trying to stay undefeated and in the national title conversation there. 3rd and 3. Can they convert this 3rd down here? Cox under center. Turns around, hands off to David Hearn, who fights forward. There's a flag on the field, though. And they're calling face mask on the defense. That's going to be an automatic first down. And just to double check, he would have had the first down either way. So it was already a first down, but now they're adding 15 yards with the penalty. So now that's going to be 1st and 10 at FAU's 45-yard line. So good penalty there for the offense as they're able to move up the field even farther. Now 1st and 10 from the 45. They're going to fake the handoff. Throw it immediately to the man that was in motion. Get 2nd and 5 there. 5-yard reception. Not bad at all. I'll take that. I'm not going to complain about that. See, I don't mind like the shorter passes on 1st and 2nd down. I just don't like them when it's on 3rd and long, because what good is that going to do you? 2nd and 5 here for the Owls. Handoff there. He got stuck behind his own man. Only got a couple yards there, but they're going to call holding on Justin Wheatley of FAU. So that's going to bring that ball back. It's going to be a 2nd and 15 now. That left guard there getting the holding call. So 2nd and 15 now. Back at the 40-yard line. Cox under center. Back to pass. Looking for someone. Looking for someone to get open. Does find Jake Meyer over the middle, who catches it and then the ball gets fumbled, apparently. I think he was on the ground, though. I think that should be challenged. Jake Meyer did catch that ball. He had it. Yeah, that's a ground-causing fumble. That ball did not come out before it hit the ground. He was down on the ground when that ball came out. Yeah, they better review that. That ball. There you go. Overturned that. So it is still Florida Atlantic ball. Although it is a 3rd and 5 situation now, though. But at least Florida Atlantic still has the ball here at the 50-yard line. Can they get the first down here and keep this drive alive? Back to pass, looking for somebody. Throws it to the right, completes it for the first down, and then some. Big catch there, as that is an 18-yard reception by Walker there. He's able to catch that and get, about 5 or 6 yards after the catch for the first down and then some. Into Navy territory now, as the Owls are trying to keep things going for them. Coming up on the 4th quarter here. 1st and 10. We're going to turn around and hand off to Daniel on this one. And for some reason, he decides to go. He had a hole to the left there, and he decided to go to the right where there was no room whatsoever. And only picked up 2 yards on that run. He had a hole on that left-hand side, though, and could have easily went up there for at least 5 or 6 yards. But for some reason, he took the road less traveled, and it did not work out well for him. Nevertheless, 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. As the Owls trying to keep this drive alive. Trying to get points on the board. They're down by 4. They need a touchdown to take the lead. A field goal will not get them the lead there. As Daniel spins off of the tacklers there. Gets 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 4 here for the Florida Atlantic Owls. They need to get this first down here. 3 for 9 on the game so far. Can they convert here on 3rd down? Back to pass, looking. Throwing it across the middle. There's a guy wide open into the end zone for the touchdown. Jake Meyer, the tight end. All reliable himself. Meyer seems to be getting a lot of completions. He might actually be the team leader in receptions. But a big touchdown there across the middle puts the Owls on top here in the 4th quarter. 16-14, pending the extra point. Sorry. The play log up there. Pass to Jake Meyer for 26 yards for a touchdown. Undefined. It's an undefined touchdown. All right, extra point pending here. As FAU has been able to fight back into this game and takes the lead. And now with the extra point, goes up by 3. 17-14 after that 2.5-minute drive there for the Owls. That is also undefined. Something that's just undefined, apparently. Navy driving and unable to put points on the board. So 4:41 left in this game. The Owls still have a 3-point lead, and now they need more than anything to secure the victory here. They need to do what they can to kill the clock here, and that big run right there by Brett Daniel is going to help that out. As that was an 8-yard run to the right-hand side, brings up a 2nd and 2. We see a studio update now. We see that Maryland actually tied things back up, so it's 7:09 left in that game, and it is a 24-all ball game. That's a interesting one. Are we going to see another top 5 upset in back-to-back weeks like this? Who knows? But here back in this game, Brett Daniel with that run to the right for 8 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2 now. As, of course, the Owls are just looking to kill the clock. They have the 3-point lead. They need to keep this ball game alive for them. And the best way to do it at this point, as you see Virginia going up over NC State down there at the bottom. So that could be an upset in the making. Oh my God, Notre Dame is killing Pittsburgh right now, by the way. Handoff to Brett Daniel, who fights forward for the first down. That's a huge first down. They needed that one as it keeps this drive alive. Able to let them keep killing time off the clock. 3:58 left and counting. Northern Illinois destroying UMass down there. You see Houston beating ECU. There's a final alert. Georgia Tech does win. They do pick up the victory over Maryland. As you see the draw there, that goes absolutely nowhere. That got blown up. Loss of 3 on that run there. As their defense was able to get into the backfield on that one. It's going to be a 2nd and 13 here for the Owls. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the game. So Georgia Tech was able to hold off Maryland for the victory there. And Virginia does upset NC State. So kind of a, that's at least the number 14 team in the nation goes down here. Cox back to pass here on 2nd and 13. On the halfback screen, and Aaron Duncan with that reception, able to get a good chunk of yardage. It's going to make you things easier on 3rd down. He's able to catch that and fight forward to about the 35, I think that is. I might be wrong. I was trying to estimate it there. Oh my God, that was a 49-40 ball game down there. To the 35-yard line, yeah. So 3rd and 7 here. Florida Atlantic 4 for 10 on 3rd down conversions in this game. That is an empty backfield. 5 receivers out there. I don't know what FAU is trying for here, but I think they're really going to try to throw off the defense on this one. Cox is all alone in the backfield. He is back to pass, looking for someone. He throws it across the middle, and that going nowhere. So unfortunately, that does not get completion, as we've already seen the final there. So with 2:18 left in the ball game, FAU has to punt the ball away. We're gonna watch. It's 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes left in the game, and they're only we're up by 3. We're gonna watch this drive. So Navy starting the drive off here at the 28-yard line with their unique defense, or their unique offense here, and that he just fought through the original tackle there. Didn't have a chance of stopping that tackle there. Or stopping the runner there, I mean. Option there. And that option goes absolutely nowhere. That gets blown up in the backfield. 2nd and 14 now. As the clock is ticking. Quarterback back to pass. He's going to run with it. And he's going to fumble. But thankfully, the Navy player was there to recover that fumble. But still not able to get much of anything on that. So it's going to be a 3rd and 10 now. From the 44-yard line or so. We'll have to see if Navy can convert here. Coming up on under a minute and a half left in the game. Sending a man in motion. Back to pass. Completes it. That receiver is gone. He is unable to be tackled, and that's a touchdown for Navy. Just like that, Navy was able to take the lead back on a 3rd and 10 scenario. The Owls defense giving up a major touchdown after being able to keep them out of the end zone since the first quarter. They gave up a huge touchdown here in less than 2 minutes left. And just like that, it is going to be crunch time for the Owls now. They need a touchdown. They can't get the lead with an extra point, or with the touch. They can't tie the ball game with a field goal. They have to get the touchdown. They're down by 4. Minute 7 on the clock. Cox back to pass. Checks it down to Daniel. Not sure why they did that. They're going to call a timeout there. I'm not sure why they did that. They need deeper plays. They need to get down the field and get to the end zone. 2nd and 3 here at the 35-yard line. They have 65 yards to go for a touchdown. Cox back to pass. He's looking, and he just throws it away. He had the defender coming up on behind him, and he threw it away. So 3rd and 3 here now. The Owls need something. Brett Daniels got bruised ribs, so he's out. So that's Aaron Duncan in the backfield now. On his 3rd and 3. Back to pass. And he got hit right away. There was no chance. Somehow he got rid of that ball, but he had no chance. That defense or that offensive line did nothing for him on that play. So here we go, the ball game, 4th and 3. Can the Owls convert here? Or is this game basically over? Is the winning streak for the FAU over? Cox back to pass. He's going to throw it to the left. He had a guy who caught it, but he was out of bounds, and that's going to be basically the ball game there. As Navy can just sit on this ball and get the victory. Disappointing stuff for the Owls, as unfortunately they were unable to get the victory in this game. Yeah, very disappointing stuff here. They tried fighting back. The offense had too many failed drives in this game. They tried fighting back. Unfortunately, were unable to get the job done. And just for that, they're going to let the quarterback run in for a touchdown. Of course. Of course, they're going to let the quarterback run in for a touchdown because they couldn't get to him there. So just to put the dagger in the back even farther is now over at this point. 11-point ball game. Yeah. This game is over. FAU unable to get the victory. They're going to fall to 6-3 on the season. And that's really about all you can say about it. Duncan's going to take the ball up there for 6 yards because for some reason it went. I mean, I guess it could have gone back to it, but I like how it's like, hey, you got to quickly go for pass plays right now. Yeah, it's less than 20 seconds left and we're down by 2 scores. It's not going to happen. Well, FAU loses a game here to Navy, 28-17. They had opportunities to win this game, but unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done. The offense struggled for most of the game, and when they finally caught fire, unfortunately, it was not good enough because Navy was able to get another touchdown on the board, and then the offense kind of screwed things up from there. So, tough game, but the Owls unable to get the job done here, losing 28-17 at Navy. It's not a terrible thing though. The offense looked horrendous in this game, but at least it was a non-conference game, so they're still undefeated in the conference. They still have the opportunity to potentially win the conference here, even with that loss. I did want to show really quick here before we end this episode. I wanted to show you guys. So basically, recruitment-wise, we're kind of done. We have 3 more people we're going after at the moment, but they're pretty much locked in. So right now, top class-wise, we're actually 27th in the nation at the moment, but that's only because there's a lot of top-tier people who haven't fully committed yet. But still, 27th in the nation is not too bad. We have 3 3-star guys, 10 2-star guys, and 3 1-star guys. But those 3 1-star guys, I think all 3 of them are actually gems. So they're actually going to be really good rating-wise than they are right now. So, it's you win some and you lose some, unfortunately. We lost this game, but it's fine. It's fine. We have met 3 of our goals so far in this contract too. We've got 7 passing touchdowns in one season. We gained 2,000 total offensive yards in one season, and we won 4 games in a season. So, we're looking good right now. We're pretty close to that. We just need one more passing touchdown in the last couple of games of the season, and we'll have that one. Well, we'll complete one half of that one at least. 500 rushing yards each season. Obviously, we have that one for this season. We've got that one for this season. That one we haven't gotten yet. We'd have to win our last 2, but we'll see about that. And that one we have so far this season as well. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's go look at conference stuff really quick before we end this episode. Let's see what happens here. So Mid-Tennessee State and Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky picks up the victory. They go to 3-2 in the conference. They become bowl eligible as well. FIU, our big component, our big opponent for the conference championship, are taking on an FCS team this week, so doesn't really matter. They go to 8 wins though. Troy and Tennessee, non-conference game. Troy loses badly. UL Lafayette and UL Monroe. And Monroe picks up the upset victory, giving Lafayette their second loss in the conference. So, upset victory there. Was that actually last minute? No. They had the lead, and then Lafayette scored a touchdown to bring it within 4, but couldn't get the job done in the end. Then Arkansas State and North Texas, both teams, it's a rivalry game, but it's not huge for us. Arkansas State gets a victory. So, where does that leave us conference standing-wise? Well, since our main opponent in the conference championship did not play a conference game either, that's going to leave us where we were, which is at the top of the conference standings right now. I didn't want to reveal it until we ran that stuff. Technically, we're at the top because we are undefeated. We have not lost in the conference so far. FIU right behind us at 4-1. Lafayette 3-2. Western Kentucky 3-2 as well in the conference. But no need to be, celebrating at the moment, because next week is a game against Western Kentucky, which could be a challenge. And then 2 weeks' time, it's FIU. That's gonna be a big game itself. And then we still have Louisiana. We still have UL Lafayette on the schedule as well. So we're gonna be hitting our stride here. We're gonna be hitting our not our stride, but we're gonna be hitting our rough patch. Western Kentucky right there in there as well. So the top 3 teams in the conference outside of us, we are going to be playing over the next 3 weeks here. So that's, technically 4 weeks. So that's going to be huge. If we want to win the conference, we are going to have to hold off these 3 teams over the next few weeks here. So can the Florida Atlantic Owls do it? We will have to wait and see. But thank you all for watching. We definitely always appreciate each and every one of you, even if you're only viewing this for 1 second just to see if we won or not, or if you're watching the whole thing. Definitely appreciate it. And I will catch you all in a future video.